From the world headquarters of Fox News, it's The Kelly File with Megyn Kelly.
Well, the president, who gave us two of the most liberal Supreme Court justices, now says he is in the middle of, quote, remaking the courts. Soon, he may find that task much, much easier. Joining me now, Jay Sekulow, Chief Legal Counsel for the American Center for Law and Justice, recently testified on the Obama administration and its handling of judicial appointments. Jay, welcome back to the program. And so the president claims he's remaking the courts, and one of the things he wants to do is put fill 3 vacancies on the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, which is basically the second most powerful court in the land under the Supreme Court. And the Republicans are saying, no, we're going to filibuster. And Harry Reid and the other Democrats are saying, if you do, we're going to change the filibuster rules to take it away from you altogether. Almost.
The nuclear option, as it's called in Washington. And the reality is this. Remember, and this is what I remind my conservative friends, that we have to remember what the Senate Democrats did to good people. A good judge, would have been a great judge, and he's a great lawyer, excuse me, Miguel Estrada, the way they treated him. Remember the confirmation hearings of Justice Alito and Chief Justice Roberts. You didn't have that much with Justice Kagan or Justice Sotomayor.
Mrs. Alito
So there's
cried.
a double standard here, and Harry Reid could talk about this, but it's reality. It's not going to happen.
Okay, but he's saying, and even Patrick Leahy, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, is now saying, if the Republicans filibuster these nominees, there are 2 nominees in particular, Patricia Millett and and Robert Wilkins and Nina Pillard. There's 3 of them, but these 2 right now. If they filibuster them, they're saying that they are going to change the filibuster rules and effectively deny the minority this tool in the U.S. Senate. That would be a huge development, Jay.
Oh, it would be gigantic because it would cut against Senate rules and history. And the reality is that what the Senate Democrats would have to realize when there's a Republican president of the United States, what are they going to do? Try to go back to the old rules? So this is dangerous for the United States Senate. Look, I mean, the president, first of all, Megyn, what's important here, the president's confirmation rate in just a few months is going to exceed what President Bush got in his entire 8 years in office.
So he's getting his judges through.
It's not like they're not getting nominations through. A lot of them most of them are getting through. I mean, it's very few that are not. You look at the D.C. Circuit, you said it. It is the second most powerful court in our country. It handles all the regulatory issues coming out of Washington, D.C. Here's the problem. None of these are judicial emergencies. The president hasn't declared a judicial emergency. The D.C. judges are not saying they're clamoring for additional help. So what the president's doing is, as the power of the president, he is, as he's boldly saying, he wants to reshape the federal judiciary and tilt the ideological balance. And what you've got is, if we don't think this is a fight over ideology, we're kidding ourselves. That's what this is.
Well, and here's
what the
thing.
Senate Republicans need to do is be really tough here.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I looked at this and I said, well, there are 3 vacancies. I mean, they need to fill the vacancies. And then I look back and I see, well, they tried to fill the vacancies even under President Bush for the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. One of the seats that's vacant was left vacant by now Chief Justice John Roberts, who moved up to the Supreme Court. Well, George Bush tried to nominate somebody for that job, and guess what? The Democrats filibustered him.
Because that's the way the system works. And the Senate has these rules in place, including the 60 rule, which is what impacts these judicial nominations. You have to get 60 to confirm at least the vote to go forward. Then, of course, it's a majority once you get clearance to have the vote on the floor. If that changes, what is called the nuclear option. Look, I mean, the Republicans, we looked at doing that too, but we realized the risk factor in this was too significant. So what they did was, to get some of these judicial confirmations through, they cut deals in the United States Senate. Remember the Gang of 14.
Yeah.
And some of the Republican senators were very aggressive in getting them through. But look,
legacy in terms of judicial appointments may be the biggest thing a president has, the most powerful area of a presidency.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Although this president's done he's created quite a legacy with some of his other programs outside of the judiciary, I might add. But yes, look, this is a legacy issue for the president. He's going to fight hard. But for the Senate to make this change, to exercise what's called the nuclear option, Megyn, the ramifications of that will be felt for generations. I don't think at the end of the day, Patrick Leahy's going to do it.
If they do it, it would be huge news. Jay, thank you.
Huge. Thanks, Megyn.
Well, the White House in crisis mode? The president said he is furious about the Obamacare rollout. So why aren't we seeing evidence of that? Who exactly has been fired and held accountable? We'll have a fair and balanced debate